We're on a roll here. We are here today, Steve Moran. I'm Fara Gold, and I'm so honored to be here with Steve Moran, with publisher, founder of Senior Housing Forum. We're this morning in the beautiful brand new hotel, Westin Hotel in Jackson, Mississippi, where they've allowed us to be in their relaxation room. So we're not going to get too relaxed because we're really excited. We're so excited, and I'm so honored to be here today to talk to Steve about how over the years of creating Senior Housing Forum, you listened to the questions of folks saying, what are we doing today for women in senior living? And I was so honored, Steve, a few months ago when you said, Fara, would you come in and be a part of this? And so as we continue to form what this initiative looks like for Senior Housing Forum, I really wanted to hear from Steve and have Steve share with you today what this means to you. So what does this mean to you, Steve?
We're just really excited about it because it started with a conversation where the message was, maybe women in senior living are not doing as great a job of supporting each other as they could do. And in some sense, I'm in no position to judge that as a man, but as I looked around, I thought, there's maybe some truth to that. And so it started out thinking, well, this is going to be a story. And then it went to, well, maybe there's something bigger here. And so what our thinking is that we really want to tackle this and be very responsible about it. And so I think there are a couple of things that we are hoping to do with this. And we're still kind of figuring out, honestly. And so the first thing is we of course want to celebrate some of the great accomplishments that women are doing in senior living. We have a number of amazing female CEOs who got into the business when it was still really, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it was really tough for women to get ahead in any kind of business. But the question is how do women help each other? How do they tackle the struggles? And this is really about bringing out the best in women, the things that make women unique, and helping them be the best that they can without putting down men. And so we're going to tell stories and we're going to talk about hard issues. I'll give you just a couple of issues that have come up as I've been talking to people about this. So the first issue is that appearance makes a bigger difference for women than it does for men. I don't know whether that's right or wrong or whether there's values in it, but we had to talk about that. And normally those are things that are uncomfortable to talk about. As you know, Fara, we do a lot of talk about the uncomfortable stuff. Another one, and one I'm really excited about, is I was at a conference and talking to a young woman who was in her early 20s who just graduated and gone to work doing social media in the senior living space, and she's actually working inside a big CCRC. And she says, it's kind of creepy, but I have some of these older gentlemen who are residents and they're getting kind of inappropriate with me. And I will be honest, that wouldn't have ever crossed my mind unless somebody talked about it. And so those are things that we talk about. And nobody's really helped her figure out how to manage that or deal with that or be appropriate. And so these are just really important things. And the other thing is that it's really become important for us.
You brought some of these topics to me and you said, Fara, has this ever happened to you? And I don't know if you remember my reaction. What did I say? I said, almost every day.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And our friends, if you're watching and you're a woman in senior living, and certainly if you're a man, because I know a lot of the great men that I've worked with over my career were there to support me through some of those bumps. And one of them was resident friendliness. And there's a leader that I've worked with for years that'll remember a very prominent resident that, it was the end of his life, and he was so excited because he thought that I was another resident. And going into that validation, what were the strategies that we use that we know that we're trained with? But I know, again, like you said, we have women come to us and men saying, how do I do this? And we think there's so much knowledge, but we want to bring it together to this place to help women advance. How do we recognize the diversity and the gifts of so many people that could contribute in senior housing? And what does that look like? Because it's really not about our color or how tall we are or big we are, but maybe that's something that we could talk a little bit about, maybe what that means to you, the diversity of our business.
We know that we've got some very interesting statistics with our industry. We actually probably have more women CEOs as a percentage than in a lot of other industries, so that's really good. But the other thing that always kind of distresses me when I go to conferences is we are a very white bunch of folk. And I don't think it's because we're racist or prejudiced at all. I think a lot of it has to do with socioeconomic. But I also think it presents an opportunity, except for there's one place where that's not really true. And when you get to the frontline staff, of course, they're in many, many communities, not in every community, but many, many communities. It's primarily non-Anglo or non-white workers. And so part of what we want to do is, it's easy to sort of look at this, and we purposely did not call this a leadership series, because we want to really explore some of the challenges that frontline staff and middle manager women have. And the last thing I do want to talk about for just a minute, though, is as we've talked about, I think there are two things that we see evolving out of this. The first is being able to create some sort of an exchange or a meeting room, and we don't really know exactly what this is going to look like, where we can create mentorship opportunities.
That's right.
I've talked to so many experienced women who said, boy, it would really be nice to help mentor. And I've talked to a number of younger women who are coming into the business or looking to grow, and they're saying, I need some help. And so to be able to create that matchmaking forum is really exciting.
We have the most incredible platinum sponsor, and that's Faye Thought, the founder of Sage Age. When we look at what she's brought to our industry in senior housing, it's truly invaluable and priceless. We have other members of our board who are really excited about our chair, and I don't know if you want to speak to.
I'm going to actually leave that. I think
it's a teaser.
It's a teaser, but you will not believe who's going to be the chair of the advisory board. I can't believe that she agreed to do that, and the organization agreed to let it happen. But it speaks to the importance of this. So we'll leave that as a teaser.
It does, and really, what we hope that you'll continue to come back to see us, to listen, to hopefully help us, to give us feedback as well. We expect to introduce, some survey emails over time. We of course would love your comments at any time. I know you can find us on our seniorhousingforum.net website. But we expect to make this, with you and what we call our partnership. Partnership to us is a two-way street, and it's a collaboration. And so we hope to continue to have your comments, feedback. We hope that you'll bear with us and forgive us as we're forming. We know that, I'm not a TV personality. You are a TV personality.
Yeah, I don't know
We're a
about
video
that,
personality,
so, yeah.
But we hope to have real conversations. When you look at the opportunities that Steve has talked about leadership, about professional development, what's important to you? Workforce development. If you're an RN and a director of nursing at a community, you may be struggling because your company is asking you to hire more quality caregivers, and you're saying to yourself, how do I do that? Those are some of the questions that we want to tackle. You may be a middle manager at a regional level, and you're saying to yourself, how do I get to that vice president's job? We want to tackle that and bring in, and we expect to interview in this coffee and conversation. We don't have our coffee with us right now, but in our conversations, dynamic, amazing women who've walked this road, the road that you're on, so that it can help inform you of maybe a next step that you want to take. So it's my honor to be here. Women in Senior Living, we are here to empower.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.